Hey guys, this is Viraj over here, and today we'll be discussing regarding the financial documents which are required for your I-20. Obviously, most of you might have received your admits, and you must have even finalized your universities by now. And this is the high time right now. So, yeah, if you have finalized your universities and everything, so obviously you must apply for your I-20s. So let us start with our presentation today for our finances which are required for the I-20. Okay, I will just share my screen. Yeah. So over here, you can see, we'll start with the finances. We will discuss about everything which you need to know what all is required for your I-20. But let's understand what is I-20 and what is required for that and why it is required by the university and the US government. So I-20 is an official form which is issued by the university on behalf of the United States Citizenship Immigration Services, that is USCS, that is already informed over there. So in layman terms, if I want to explain you, so it's the university who will be getting the money and not the US government. So US government tells the university to scrutinize the documents and everything, the finances, first from their end. So they will tell the university that you first scrutinize whether the student is capable to fulfill his cost of education or not, and then we will evaluate at our end in the form of visa interview. So the visa officer will be the representative of US government. So first, the university will be evaluating your finances, and then the visa officer will be intervening in that. So that is how there will be there is a double check on this. So if university is evaluating things and if they are giving you the I-20, that means you have sufficient funds to complete your cost of education. So it's a compulsory document which is issued by the university. You will need to, if you're going for US university, then it is a compulsory document which proves that you have sufficient funds to complete the cost of education. Obviously, the cost of education, this cost of education involves your tuition plus the living expenses. Coming on to the next, that is, what are the important details mentioned in the I-20? So the name and the passport number, obviously, of the student is mentioned over there. The name of the university which you are going. So obviously, if you are finalize your university, you have to demand the I-20 for that particular university. So that university's name and everything will details of the course and everything will be mentioned over there. The program details will be mentioned in that. The date of the commencement of the program. This is very important. So if the commencement of program is from fall of 21, then that date will be mentioned over there clearly. So make sure that your dates and everything, these important details are mentioned properly in your I-20. The date by which the program has to be completed, that is also mentioned over there. The total cost of education for 1 year minus any aid received. So I will come to that. I will show you the format for that later on. So that cost of education is mentioned. There are two columns over there where one is the total cost of education and the other column is for the source of funding available. So that thing is also mentioned over there. So source of funding, obviously, what all finances you are shown towards to fulfilling your I-20, that is shown over there. So these are the important details which you have to check at scrutinize at your end that okay, whether your I-20 is proper or not. Coming on to the next, that is what are the financial documents for the I-20. This is the most important part for any of the students who want to go for any particular university. So please students, please listen to this carefully. I should have your complete attention in this. Okay. So you all these financial documents which I will be mentioning over here, these are the prime important ones which are required by any of the universities in US. So apart from this, there are some more documents which I will also discuss, but these are the prime ones. So what all are those? So this is the financial support of affidavit or the financial declaration form which is already provided by university. I will also show you the formats in the later slides. Second is the bank certificates which bear the balances of savings account, FD accounts, and current account. So these bank certificates are also acceptable for your I-20. Third is the education loan sanction letter. If you're looking out for education loans, then obviously you must get your education loans right now. You should have been done with the education loan, and you should get your loan sanction letter in your hand. and then you can apply for the I-20. If you have got any scholarships, I will discuss about that also. So if you got any scholarship letter or something like that from the university, you can share it with the university while obtaining your I-20. So these four are the important documents which are required by any university. Financial declaration form obviously is provided by the university. You don't need to make any extra effort to get that financial declaration form. So yeah, and bank certificates, education loan sanction letters, and scholarship letters are additional things which are support with it for to support it with the finances which are there. So coming on to the next, that is the financial support of affidavit or the financial declaration form provided by university. So why is it required? So it is required to state that the student is coming for the university and he wants to apply for his I-20, obviously. So who are his sponsors? In this case, who are his sponsors? So these sponsors, those sponsors will be his financial sponsors. So financial sponsors in the sense that those sponsors are legally bound to provide for the students' education. So those are required. So this financial declaration form is provided to the university, and university will keep it and on their records. So who can be your financial sponsors? Who can be the sponsors? All your blood relatives can be a sponsor. Your parents can be a sponsor. Your siblings can be a sponsor. Your grandparents can be a sponsor. Your uncle and aunt can be a sponsor. Even your maternal uncle, paternal uncle, both will do. Your spouse can be a sponsor. So all these sponsors are eligible to be a financial sponsor on your for your I-20. Can there be a multiple sponsors? Yes, there can be a multiple sponsors. You can take a sponsorship of multiple people also, relatives also. If you want your parents also involved in this, if your uncle is saying that he also wants to sponsor you for your education, then yes, all of them can be a sponsor. In what ways we can show those? Obviously, I will show you the format right now. So you'll come to know, you will have the idea of what ways we can show this. So this is the financial declaration form for University of Florida. You can see it over here. You have to mention your details over here, general name and contact details. And then here comes the sponsor's name, sponsor details over here to mention your sponsor details. If there are multiple sponsors, then obviously you will keep adding those sponsors over here. And obviously they have to sign these forms. So these are the sponsors. So obviously you have to mention, I agree to sponsor the above name applicant for the studies for University of Florida, US dollars, how much? So this will be mentioned, the balance will be mentioned over here. Okay, I will state to you that what balance should be mentioned over here. Okay, I will come back to this later. So this is the sponsorship form. So this is similar to what other universities also give you, the same kind of form, and you have to fill it and submit it to the university along with the financial documents. So how much funds to show from the financial sponsors end? And in what ways we can show those? In what ways? There are multiple liquid assets which can be shown, as I mentioned earlier in the slide, that we can show bank certificate. They can be a sponsor, financial sponsor. You can show us financial sponsors bank certificate having a savings account balance, FD account balance, current account balance. He can be a co-borrower on an education loan sanction letter. In that way also we can show a sponsorship letter. So in this way, you can show the sponsor and how much funds to show for the sponsor, financial sponsors. For example, if he's showing a bank certificate, then there is no such thumb rule that he has to show a particular balance from his end. But I would generally recommend to students that at least you should show a substantial amount of money from the sponsor's end. Like just say 5 to 10 lakh rupees will be more than enough to show from his end, and the rest you should show it from the loan funds. If you're looking out for loans, obviously you have to look out for loans if the sponsor has not that much funds to fulfill your I-20 amount. Some say that even the financial sponsor should have the complete I-20 amount as it at his end. But no, it's not like that. You can have a part of financial sponsor end, and part from the loans end can be fulfilled towards the I-20. Coming on to the next slide, that is the bank certificate. So who all can show the bank certificate? Obviously, your financial sponsor has to show a bank certificate, plus you can also show your own bank certificate. If you're working for a few years and if you have accumulated some funds at your end, then you can also show your bank certificate. How much to show in that? Obviously, what all is there in your bank certificate, that only you to show. Don't take any external funds from any of the relatives and or any of the third party sources to fulfill the bank certificate. Don't do that. You don't have the accountability of that funds, those funds. So don't show any external sources. Obviously, your I-20, while your visa, you will be carrying your ITR statements and salary slips during that time. So don't show the external funds. Show only what is there with you. You have loan funds to match that amount of I-20. So don't show anything extra. Validity of bank certificate. Validity of bank certificate is for 6 months prior to your visa interview. So if you're going in the month of May or June, any bank certificate from Jan onwards will work. So that is the validity of the bank certificate. Checkpoints. I will go to the format of the bank certificate, and there you can see what all checkpoints to make a note of. So here, this is the bank certificate of a particular student, and this bank is State Bank of India. You have to see that the bank certificate should be on the letterhead. The branch details should be mentioned. Obviously, the date should be mentioned. Date obviously should not be more than 6 months old. The bank certificate should have to whomsoever it may concern, and not the solvency certificate. No word such as solvency should be mentioned in the bank certificate. Please make a note of it. So over here, your financial sponsor's name will be mentioned, and the details of the sponsor and his saving account numbers will be mentioned over there. Okay, so his account number is this. His credit balance in the saving account as on today, at the close of business hours, is 21,45,000. You can see it over here, and his equivalent to US dollar conversion amount is mentioned over there. Okay, so you can see there is a mention of both the INR as well as the dollar conversion amount mentioned over there. So dollar conversion is very important in this. So you have to, these are the checkpoints: dollar conversion amount plus the INR, and obviously the signature of the branch manager. This is required for any of the bank certificate which you are getting from your bank's end. So this is the complete bank certificate which you have to make while applying for your I-20. Obviously, this amount does not need to be equal to I-20 amount. It can be equal to I-20 amount. It can be more than the I-20 amount also. If it is more than the I-20 amount, there is no need for loans for you for now. You can take a loan later for your visa interview. If it is less than the I-20 amount, then you have to fulfill it with the loan sanction letter. Okay. So this is the bank certificate for the bank, which you have to bank certificate which you have to show for your I-20. So these are the checkpoints. Coming on to the next, that is the education loan sanction letter. So what's the education loan sanction letter? I will show you that format as well. How can you avail this? Obviously, you can go to any of the loan providers. If you haven't started this process, you can go to, you can log into Yockit and you can talk to our loan advisors. You can avail the services of Yockit. We can help you out with your loans, and we will also ensure that you get the best rate of interest in the market. Now we'll see what all is mentioned in that. I will just merge it with the checkpoints only. So what all is mentioned in the loan sanction letter? So this is a loan sanction letter of one of the loan provider. You can see the details over here. The date and everything is mentioned. Obviously, date should be within 6 months, and this is properly required by for during your visa interview and everything. So that is the main reason the dates and everything is mentioned. Your name and details should be mentioned over here. And obviously, who is the co-signer over here? Obviously, your co-signer would be the financial sponsor. Your country of study, your course, your university which you are going to. The loan amount is mentioned over here. The rate of interest is mentioned over here. The processing fee which is charged is mentioned over here. So you can see that This loan sanction letter possesses everything which is required by the student and obviously the university. So university can just see that, okay, he has got a loan sanction of 20 lakh 20 lakh 45,000, and that is equivalent to 27,789. Obviously that rate belongs to the market rates prevailing during that time period. So obviously those market rates are fluctuating, so those will be given to you by the loan provider itself. So these are some of the checkpoints which you have to note while getting your loan sanction. And obviously how much repayment, what will be the repayment term, and everything should be mentioned in this loan sanction letter. So this is the format for the loan sanction letter. So you can see that this loan sanction letter, and coming on to the support of affidavit, yes, this you can support it with the loan sanction letter, while you can also mention loans in this. So if your sponsor is the bank, particular loan provider, you can mention the name of the sponsor in this. And in this, obviously the bank certificate, whatever is mentioned, it should be the bank certificate, the value of the bank certificate plus the education loan sanction letter should be more than the I-20 which is required by the university if you want to get your I-20 done. Last but not the least, the scholarship letter. So if you got, there are two ways to obtain a scholarship. One is the internal way, merit-based scholarships, which your university will confirm to you while they give you the admit. The other way is the external scholarship, which are available available through trust or any of the organizations in India. There are many trust and organizations like Tata who give you scholarships, and you can apply for those scholarships as well. So whichever scholarships you receive, you can just attach it with other financials which are required for your I-20, and you can get your I-20 letter. So make sure that you have all these three things: your bank certificate plus the education loan sanction letter and the scholarship letter should the valuation of all these three documents should be more than the I-20 which is required by the university. Then only the university will be able to give you the I-20 letter. So this is the I-20 letter of the past student of ours. And you can see that I've just masked the names and everything. So you can see over here, this is the important thing. The program start date and end date is mentioned over here. This classes, which university, masters, going for master's education. You can see over the financials, which are column, which are mentioned over here, the two columns. One is for the estimated average cost for 9 months and the students funding for 9 months. So you can see over here, the tuition fees, the living expenses, the expenses of dependents or anything, everything is mentioned over here. So this is the total cost of education, the cost of education, which is mentioned over here, the tuition plus the living. And these are the funds which are there to match those, these, these requirements. So this student has applied via personal funds and department funds, some funds. So obviously, if you are going for loans, then here it will be mentioned education loans will be mentioned over here. So this is your complete I-20. This is the first page of I-20. There are many more pages to it. So yeah, that's it, guys. I hope this session was very helpful for you. And I hope you will be able to get your I-20s on time. You'll be able to finalize your university and get your I-20. You can even apply to multiple I-20s just in case if you are still confused with the universities and everything, you can apply to multiple I-20s and later on confirm with the universities regarding that. I hope this session was helpful to you. Have a good day and good luck with your future plans.